Okay, hello, here's another beautiful vintage 1982 Technics turntable. It's a 1200 MK2. Beautiful piece of equipment. Okay, I'm gonna start here with the dust cover. The dust cover is a little bit flimsy or wimp. Okay, so what I'm gonna do now is that I'm gonna utilize that piece of foam to keep it up. You know, see, it's gonna go down. See that? It's flimsy. This is the original dust cover. This is the vintage dust cover, which is a little bit thinner than the newer ones. That's what I'm gonna do now, so that way I can show you better. You know, when I turn it on and then I start to test it out, I'm gonna remove that, but I need to show you that this is a real vintage 1982 turntable. Works fantastic. Just look at that puppet light. Just look how smooth it is. That's beautiful. The pitch is it's sticky. It's a little bit sticky. It's dry out, and like all of my vintage turntables, the pitch, the potentiometers are sticky. I'm sure they are dry out completely. It works, they all work, but they're just sticky. You know, these turntables have been sitting for years, several years, unused, just inside cases, inside wood cabinets and things like that. So, okay, I'm just gonna go around and I'm gonna do some testing at the end. We're gonna start here with this corner. Start and stop buttons are button is good. Couple stains on it. 3345. Just look at that plotter. That plotter is in beautiful conditions. You know, this is a 36 years old turntable. It's a must-have. It's a beautiful. I currently have 4 vintage turntables for sale, including one from 1979, from the first production year. So beautiful one as well, mint. There's a couple stains on the platter here, on top of the platter here, by the aluminum ring, and this is, see those stains? Those stains are caused by the rubber mat. This big rubber mat has been sitting on it for the past 36 years. This is a thick rubber mat. It's really heavy. Okay. Just look at that platter. Full dots, you know, complete dots. Couple tiny things like that. There's a couple, you know, the typical dust cover stains or dust cover scratches on the plinth. You know, it's been on it for 36 years. So, and it's missing the rubber bumpers. This is mostly why when the dust covers are missing the rubber bumpers, this is what happens. You get stains, you get little scratches, you know. That's exactly where the dust cover lands at. Just right there. Okay, let's continue here. This is this corner here. And the sun's going away. Here. This is very typical. Those are caused by the dust cover. Sometimes you see the rubber bumpers here, the rubber bumper stains. You know, those are impossible to wipe off, or so. Just don't do anything to the turntables, please. There we go. This is just factory. That's how it came from the factory. Usually, as I repeat in all my videos, the corners is where the paint job ends at or seals at. So you see drops or some sort of imperfections always on the corners. Okay? Those little things you can't even, I mean, you can not see them. I mean, you will barely see them with your own eyes. It's just the camera that allows to capture every single thing. Okay, let me show you that pitch. Just look at that pitch. Never use pitches, never use, and it's sticky. See that? It works, but it is sticky. Locks in the middle, like all the pitches. But it's sticky. I'm sure it's dry out completely because it hasn't been used at all in 36 years. Okay, now the toner. This is the most important part, and the one that I love the most is the tone arm. This is fantastic. This is simply a beautiful tone arm. It's just the design is beautiful. There's that exposed pivot mount. This is the main characteristic on some of the vintage turntables. This is actually the first tone arm that was used on a Technics 1200 MK2. Exposed pivot mount tone arms. This is just a beautiful tone arm. I love this tone arm. The design is fantastic, and there's so much design going on in here, and so many angles. When I take pictures, I take really good pictures of these tone arms, and it looks really architectural. You know, looks really nice, like a really detailed design. And I love these tone arms. You can only find these tone arms on real vintage turntables. That's the exposed pivot mount right there. Super clean. Look at that. Just look at these bearings. Those little bearings or nuts, but the bearings are inside, of course. These are nuts or screws. Just look at those screws, and this is a truly vintage, like first generation Technics tone arm. There's a lot of people that tells me, there's no first generation turntables, blah blah blah. Well, I call them first generation because these are vintage ones. This is the first batch that came out. So there's a lot of people that argue about that, but I don't care. Experiences are unique, you know. Everyone has its own way to think. Just look at that. This is a truly vintage tone arm. This is a 1982 turntable. Just look how clean it is. It's just beautiful. Look at this tone arm. There's just a little bit of dirt in here, right here, because there was a cartridge in here, so that can be cleaned up. Somebody can clean it up. I mean, I can clean it up, but I just don't like to mess with my turntables. What I do is I dust them off with an electric duster. That's all I do. I don't like to mess with them. I don't like to do absolutely anything. I just leave them like that. I'm sure that can be cleaned up. I'll try to clean that up, you know, with a rag or something like that. I mean, it's a 36 years old turntable, so expect a couple little imperfections, couple scratches. There's a couple scratches on the dust cover, for example, here. See that? A couple tiny scratches. Well, these are stains, probably my fingers and things like that. That can be cleaned up really easy. Okay. Let's check this out. beautiful. To find one of these in these conditions, it is extremely hard, complicated. You might find vintage ones, but not with that tone arm. Okay, and these have the serial number underneath the turntable, and the vintage one have a really cool design here underneath. I don't think it was just designed or meant to be grabbed from this side, because it's really comfortable to grab them here. You know, the newer ones is all flat, but there's something here that like a little mountain here, you know, that you can grab it from here, and you can carry it out just like that. It's really nice. I like it, you know. And there's a huge plate here underneath the tone arm. It's a huge plate, like a 4 or 5 inches plate here that you can unscrew and easily replace the tone arm. I just don't know why Technics changed that design, which was amazing. And here's the slim slot receptacles. These are the true vintage slim slot receptacles and hinges. They are completely flat, and the hinges are spring assisted. Okay, there's a little spring in there, so just let me show you that. Just bear with me for 1 second. Okay. Okay, here's it. Slim slot receptacles. They always have a number in it. And you see that spring? That's a spring. See if you can catch it. There you go. That's a spring. They are spring assisted. They usually pop up. Sometimes they pop up and break the receptacle. And that was a great idea that Technics replaced the system. They usually all have numbers in there. And what else? Just look at these cables. Just look at this. Mint, beautiful cable. Look at that. Never used before. This turntable was only used for decorations and showcasing purposes. No use at all. There's a couple scratches. I'm gonna go to the other side and show you absolutely everything. So, okay, here we go again. Okay, now we're gonna start here, this side here. Just look at that platter, that's beautiful. And try to get more light on this side. That's better. Here's a scratch here, little scratch right there. There's always scratches in here. Most of the time. Yeah, there's a couple. Excuse me. There's a couple scratches in there. Okay, now this corner. Beautiful shape. Just look at that plotter. That is fantastic. The cables should have the letters L and R for left and right as well. And I'm going to show you now, so bear with me for a second please. I'm going to show you underneath. That's necessary. I'm going to turn it off first. I'm going to remove the dust cover on the platter so I can show you underneath the turntable. Okay, I'm going to use this big piece of foam. Okay, there we go. So well protected now. Here we go. See? That's the vintage style turntable. Just look at this. It's really nice. Even underneath the turntable is really nice. That's vintage style. Vintage style. It's a beautiful turntable. Okay, let's go back down. Now I'm going to show you how it works, how it tracks down. Okay, first I'm going to show you that the turntable spins. Everything is functional. I'm gonna test it out without the rubber mat because that's a heavy mat. You know, that needs calibration. If you're gonna use that rubber mat, you know, which is the original one, you're gonna have to calibrate the brake. You know. Come on, focus. There we go. See, starts and stops on time. It's really now 45. It's good. Starts good. Stops on time. It's in really, really nice shape. If we put this big rubber mat on top of it, it's not going to do the same because that's really heavy. So you're going to have to calibrate that as well. It's not going to stop that accurately because it's adding a lot of weight towards the platter. So you're going to have to calibrate that. You know, audio pilots know that. So, and most of the people knows that. So I'm going to test the pitch now. Like I've mentioned, it's really sticky, and it's not that sticky. That works. Just bear with me for 1 second, please. Okay, I'm gonna use this angle, and you should look at the dots here at the strobe light. I'm gonna go -8 now. See? +8. See, it's really responsive. It's really nice, but it's a little sticky. That's on 6. Dots should be steady. The upper dots should be steady on 6. That means the pitch is well calibrated. Okay. Really nice. It looks, look, see, it's a little bit sticky, but if you're gonna use it, it will unstick. It's unsticking already, you know, as I'm using it. So they are all like that. All of my vintage turntables, I currently have 4 for sale. They all have a sticky pitch, and it works, but it's sticky. You know, they've all been sitting for 35, 36, 38 years, 39 years, things like that. So okay, so this is it. It's another beautiful turntable, beautiful Technics turntable. It's a vintage one. Vintage Technics turntable. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me. And girls and guys interested, just please feel free to contact me anytime, and have a wonderful day. Take care.